Step 1, you need to learn the major scale. We'll do it starting on the 5th fret of the low E string, so we've got A major. Step 2, learn the major pentatonic scale. All we have to do with our major scale is remove the numbers 4 and 7. So instead of doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 like we did before, we're going to take away 7 and 4. So now we've just got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Then 1 again if you want. Step 3, you want to practice stacking the major pentatonic scale in different ways, like this. Like this. Like this. Like this. So although I'm going into all these different places, I'm still playing the same thing. And I've got that freedom to not be restricted by a specific scale shape or pattern. But wherever I am on the fretboard, I know I'm still playing major pentatonic. I can go to the left, I can go vertically, I can go to the right, and I can just have fun with it. Sorry, let me not get carried away. But you get the picture. You want to practice that. If you don't know how to practice that, join Guitar Alchemy, link in description. We go through that. So once you're able to take the major pentatonic scale and stack it on top of itself in different ways to open up different areas of the fretboard, now you want to kind of see it within the 5 pentatonic shapes that most of us learn first when we're playing guitar. So if I take this position of A major pentatonic and stack it on top of itself like this, I've got shape 1 of the pentatonic scale that we usually learn. Right? If I do the same thing here, I've got this shape, which will be shape 2. You can do it again, and then you've got shape 3. You can do it again, shape 4. Then shape 5. Then back to shape 1. The most important part with this is knowing where your numbers are. So even though I'm doing, I know where 3 is, I know where 5 is, I know where 2 is, and I can just target these notes as I'm soloing along. If I want to target 2, I'll think, okay, I can, do a little bit. Land on 2 and just do my own thing with that. So yeah, you want to see the 5 pentatonic shapes with major pentatonic, and it'll look like this on one big diagram. So once you understand how you can build a major pentatonic scale and then stack it on top of itself to navigate different areas of the fretboard and then create the 5 pentatonic shapes that we all learn, now you can see the fretboard from a pentatonic perspective, because you're just seeing the whole fretboard through the lens of major pentatonic. But it gets better. Now you can see it through a diatonic perspective, and all diatonic means is major scale, the one we did at the start of the video. To do this, all we're going to do is add the numbers 4 and 7 again, and this is pretty easy. All you have to remember, if you've been practicing major pentatonic a lot, is 4's always a half step above 3 and 7's always a half step below 1. So wherever I'm on 3, let's say the 9th fret of the E string, 4's going to be on the 10th fret. If 4's on the 5th fret of the A string, 3's going to be on the 3rd fret. 4th fret of the A string. And whenever I'm on 1, let's say the 5th fret of the E string, 7's going to be on the 4th fret, 1/2 step behind it. If 1's on the 7th fret of the D string, 7's going to be a 1/2 step behind it, so the 6th fret of the D string. So now, I've just added these two numbers, but because I know it's a repeating pattern across the whole fretboard pentatonically, all I have to think is whenever I'm on 3, I can add 4. Whenever I'm on 1, I can go back 1, and I've got 7. So within this pentatonic framework, when you add these two numbers, you've got the diatonic framework that I was talking about. Now you've got additional notes that you can add and play with, and just see these as different voicings on your guitar. You can speak a pentatonic language, you can speak a diatonic language, and later on in your life you'll speak blues, harmonic minor, and all these different scales. But the most important skills I'd say that you'd have to learn in order to become an advanced guitar player is 1, see the fretboard pentatonically, and then 2, see it diatonically. That's the basis, and it'll give you a strong foundation for everything you're going to play in the future. So yeah, see it pentatonically, and then add the numbers 4 and 7 to see it diatonically. You've been practicing over backing tracks for over a month, and now you're good at seeing the fretboard pentatonically, and most importantly, diatonically. Now you can see it diatonically. The next thing you need to learn how to do is harmonize the major scale. Now, all that means is building a chord of each note of the major scale. And this is how most songs in the West are made. They're based off the major scale. Of course, you've got jazz, you've got Middle Eastern scales, you've got all this other stuff. But for a foundation, most of the songs you're going to learn have chords based on a major scale. Now, not specifically A major. Of course, you can do a major scale anywhere, but they're going to be based on the major scale. So when you harmonize the major scale, you get 7 chords. And the pattern goes like this. The first note will give us a major chord. The second note will give us a minor chord. 3 would be minor. 4 would be major. 5 would be major. 7 would be minor. Did I say 7? My brain just paused, bro. Anyways, 4's major, 5's major, 6 is minor, 7 is diminished, and then 8 or 1 again is going to be major. Cool. Why is this important? Bruv, most people go about learning songs by learning the chords specifically, and that's good for the start, right? But let's say, someone changes the key and I don't know where C minor is or something, bruv. I don't want to have to think, I gotta learn a new chord shape, or I gotta learn a new, chord progression or something like that. If you know the numbers for chord progression, then you'll learn songs 10 times faster. Let's take Brown Eyed Girl, for example, I don't even know who's by. Is it Vance or something? But it sounds like this. You've got... something like that. Anyways, knowing the major scale, I know that's just 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 5, right? And I don't have to learn new chords to play the same song. Wherever I'm at, I could do the same pattern. 1, 4, 1, 5. Let's say I'm starting on the A string. 1, 4, 1, 5. Let's say someone's got a song all the way up here. It's awkward to play bar chords up here, and this is where knowing things diatonically and pentatonically is important. Because if I know one's here, let's say the 11th fret of the E string, I know one's also going to be on the 6th fret of the A string. They're both the same note, and that just makes things easier for me to play. So now I could do it over here. One's a major chord, so I'll just do a major shape from here. and then find 4. 4 would be on the 4th fret of the E string. Then 1 again, 6th fret A string, and then 5 on the 6th fret of the E string. I can move it around. So knowing where your numbers are is very important, pentatonically, diatonically, because then when you've got awkward chord progressions that won't really work up here, you can just play them in different areas and you'll learn songs a lot faster. Now, you'll find videos on the internet like songs that use the same chord progressions, but that's how it works, and you're better off learning numbers. Of course, notes are important because you need to know where you're going to start and whatnot, but once you know the numbers and the key of the song, you're having a laugh. Like when I've got a last minute gig and I need to learn the chords, I'm not thinking, yo, A sharp, this and that. I'm just thinking, yo, okay, 6, 5, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you get the picture. Learning where your numbers are is very important for all of this, so don't neglect that. After you've learned the chords and a key, the next thing you want to do is learn different chord voicings. Now, chord voicings are going to make your playing a lot more interesting because you're not using standard major or minor, but you're using more colors. Now, within the chords and a key, we've got major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. But there's different chord voicings like major 7, minor 7, major 9, minor 9, dominant 11, all these other things that you can use. And if I just take, let's say, major 7s, sounds softer compared to major. Major 7. What if I use major 9? Major 11. Sounds cool. On the second chord, minor 7. Sounds nice and soft. Minor, more sad. Minor 9. Minor 7. Minor 11. Next chord, third chord, minor 7. Let's turn it into a dominant 7. Sixth chord, minor 7. Or minor 11. Right? So here you're messing around with these voicings and it's making your play more interesting because you're adding more colors to, say, one chord. And now it sounds like, although you're just playing one chord, it's like the chord's moving. The chord's actually doing something. It's not just standard. But you've got these colors going and you're still playing one chord. Now, with this diatonic vision stuff I was talking about, it really helps with all this stuff because once you've got it down, let's say I'm on the first chord of a key on the 5th fret of the low E string. Once I can see like this, I then make it look like this. So now I'm on the 5th fret of the low E string and I've got my chord. I can see all the notes within this area that I can kind of use my extra fingers to play. And I'll usually hold down the root note of my thumb and then use the rest of my fingers to kind of play melodic lines with all the notes that surround my chord. So yeah, I know loads of voicings, but there's also the aspect of just seeing it diatonically and just thinking, okay, now I've got all these notes that surround it that I know I can use. Let me just pull some random notes out of my ass and see what it sounds like, right? Or, you know, you might hear a melody in your head. I'm not going to sing because I have to like transpose my guitar and it'll sound like I'm out of tune when I do, add the audio to this video. But you can get melodies that sound nice over a chord. You can do all sorts of stuff. I forgot to add this in step 6, but every chord in the key has a function. And these help so much with songwriting, because now it's not you playing random chords in a key, but you know the function of each chord. One chord can make it feel like you're at home, then you're traveling somewhere, and then you tripped over a rock, but you landed on your feet. Happy ending. Or I can do some more traveling. Not happy ending. We're going to the hospital. We might not make it. He's dying. Okay, sad ending. Right? Every chord has a function. I've done a video on this in here. But once you know this and you combine that with all the different voicings and diatonic vision and adding all these notes around your chords and doing all this cool stuff, then you'll be a solid player. Because a lot of people can't do that, bruv. I'm telling you. Right, so the last step to actually becoming an advanced player or pro is this secret ingredient that I'm about to mention. And I promise you, I'm not doing this clickbait thing. I'm actually telling you guys straight like what you need. So if you haven't subscribed or commented already, bro, leave a comment right now, man. I'd appreciate it. But you want to be able to see chords within scales and scales within chords. And by that, I don't mean, if I'm playing an A major, then I have to play A major pentatonic, or I have to play A Ionian or A major scale. Don't mean it like that. But if I'm playing A major, similar to the example I showed you guys earlier, this is what I see. I don't label the numbers. I don't say, oh, this is 1, this is 7 and whatnot. Of course, this is diatonic vision, but the only time I'll think about numbers is when I specifically want that color. If I want it to sound like a major 7, that's when I'll think, okay, where are my major 7s? But other than that, when I'm just flowing, it's just hearing it in my head and just playing it enough times to know what the notes are gonna sound like before I play them. Your numbers are always gonna be subjective to where your 1 is, because 1's your root note and your root note can be anywhere. But for most of the time, I'm just playing with diatonic vision. And if you don't want to do that, you can just remove 4 and 7 and now you've got pentatonic vision. And I think that's easy to memorize because it's just 5 shapes. And if you don't want to do that, you can do something called blues vision, add a little flat 3. Now you can do harmonic minor vision. I don't know how that would sound over a major chord. I don't know. It sounds better with like. Sounds better with minor chords, but yeah, I think I'll experiment with that one. I kind of like it. So I need to stop pulling these faces, bro. Like every time I'm playing a little thing, I start doing. I need to stop it. It's a bad habit. One of them ones. You ever see them keys player that like when they're playing the keys in church or something? I'm like, bro, I know you're playing the maddest suspended, extended, harmonic, diminished chords, but just relax, bro. Just relax. I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, seeing chords behind scales and scales behind chords, and you're cool. And if you just practice playing pentatonically, then diatonically enough times, then after that, because most scales come from the major scale, you just have to add 1 or 2 notes to get a different color out of it, right? Like blues vision would be major pentatonic with a flat 3. Or if you're in minor pentatonic, then flat 5. But same thing, potato, potato. So, yeah. Now, if you want to learn more about this stuff, then I've got my ebooks on my website. But if you want lessons, just learning how to play like me, and I'm not saying I'm the best player in the world, but a lot of people be asking me like, yo, how do you do all this shit? If you want to learn, then sign up to Guitar Alchemy, link in description. I'm going to spend the rest of this year making long form videos for that specifically. I'm just going to post clips on YouTube from those videos moving forward. And yeah, if you want to support my thing and learn how to play some cool guitar, then sign up to Guitar Alchemy. I've also made an Instagram and Facebook page that I'm going to start posting as well. I'll link that in the description. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed or commented yet, then do it right now. Help this channel out. And if you want to learn how to play like Jimi Hendrix, watch this video. If you want to learn how to unlock the fretboard, then watch this video. Have I mentioned the cage? No, I haven't mentioned this. Yeah, man. I was going to poke fun at this, but I'll be nice. But I'd say that this is the system for guitar. And then once you've got all of this down, then everything else makes sense. For example, if I do a major diatonic vision, slap that there. Bro, a lot of people be like, oh, learn the cage system. But I'd say it's limited if you don't understand how the guitar actually works. So with this, you know, on top of this diagram, here's the cage system. And I'm not stuck within just a few shapes within the cage system, but I can see all the notes around it. And while I'm soloing around cage or playing some cage stuff, not that I would, because I'm better than that. But I can see all the notes around these cage chords and whatever's going on, right? And yeah, is there anything else I should add? No, join Guitar Alchemy right now. Do it. I'll make your life better. Peace out. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate it, and I hope that you have a lovely day.